because I now have so many questions and nobody to answer.
That's true. It's a difficult time. तो अभी तबीयत कैसी है?
Everything is okay, ma'am. I don't feel a thing. At the first time when I got infection, it was difficult for me, and but
Hmm.
this time it's like nothing has changed. Only the report came positive.
But why did you go for report?
I had to move to Uttarakhand, and they needed a negative report for the travel. So that's why I
Oh,
did the test, and
you
because
found
I did
you're again
the test,
infected.
I got infected.
Oh,
Ma'am, ma'am, I want to share something related information
yes,
regarding
yes.
corona reinfection.
जी.
मैम, न्यूज़पेपर में मैंने पढ़ा था मैम कि अगर दोबारा किसी को इन्फेक्शन हो रहा है, अगर या उसका रिपोर्ट पॉजिटिव आ रही है, दैट मीन्स उसके में वो उसको दोबारा हुआ नहीं है, उसके अंदर थोड़ा बहुत कुछ कोरोना के बैक्टीरिया रह गए थे, उसकी वजह से उसका मतलब रिपोर्ट दोबारा पॉजिटिव आई है, उसको
नहीं
दोबारा कोई
करण, कई
No, but
न्यूज़पेपर
with
में
me, no,
काफी
no, but
देशों
with
में
me,
हुए हैं. अभी तो
ma'am,
कह
with
रहे हैं
me, what
कंफर्म
happened?
केसेस.
I got first infected in between June, and then I got well, and then I get tested, and it tested negative. I
हम्म.
tested negative, and that was when I knew that okay, it is clear. And again, it tested positive. So from
हम्म.
positive to negative, and again from negative to positive. That's why I think it's a reinfection.
हाँ, नहीं अभी तो आ गया है कई दफा में कि अब कंफर्म केसेस ऑफ री इन्फेक्शन है. पहले से तो नहीं होगा री इन्फेक्शन, पर अभी तो कई देशों में कंफर्म हो गया है कि री इन्फेक्शन हो रहा है. चलिए, इनफ ऑफ कोरोना. एनीथिंग एल्स अपार्ट फ्रॉम कोरोना दैट वी आर डीलिंग विद? We had a meeting about our exam pattern, and found out that Bar Council is about to issue some new directions for this course soon, within a week or 10 days. So we are waiting for that. It is bound to the scheme of examination bound to change, but it still will be oral, most of it, and there will be some written part of it. There will be no end semester exam, but we will let you know once we hear from Bar Council and we decide what to do about it. So your exam stands postponed till the time we have heard from our council as to what are their suggestions for the CLE courses that move forward. We had the direction from the previous from August. They're saying that now they're going to come up with some new directions. So we'll wait for that. So that's one.
मैम
Second,
एग्जाम फाइनल ईयर और
नहीं फिफ्थ सेमेस्टर के लिए ना, बाकी में भी कुछ ना कुछ तो आएगा. अटेंडेंस का जैसे सबके में आएगा ना. There has to be
मैम
something about attendance. Some people are just not able to join the classes.
मैम डू यू हैव एनी सॉर्ट ऑफ आइडिया रिगार्डिंग फोर्थ सेमेस्टर एग्जामिनेशंस?
No, I don't. तो उसका अब अभी टाइम लगेगा, क्योंकि अभी तो शायद फाइनल के ही चल रहे हैं ना, दोबारा से रिटर्न एंड ऑनलाइन फिर से चल रहा है. वेट, everything is kind of uncertain at this point of time. The only thing that, yeah, you will have some stage exam as of now. Who knows, later on they might still change their mind. तैयारी तो रखनी पड़ेगी. So okay, before we get down to the conversation on research, I want us to have a chat about what we have learned so far in this course. I'm assuming that you are finding the classes are different in this course. So you have the choice, and I would want everybody who has not spoken so far to take the lead in speaking up and identify one thing which you have learned in this course so far. And don't tell me everything, just pick up one thing which you find was very interesting or something new or something useful from your perspective. Very quickly, let's not waste time waiting for somebody to speak. Very quickly, just unmute yourself and speak up. And I am inviting all those of you who have not spoken so far at all. They will take the lead and then the others can join.
May I?
शिव गुप्ता आप बोल चुके हैं. साहिल
अच्छा मैम,
विदुरी.
ठीक.
Sahil Viduri. I'm going to call out names which I have not. I don't remember that they have spoken so far. साहिल, आपकी आवाज नहीं आई अभी, आपने अनम्यूट तो किया है। हाँ हाँ, बोलिए।
मैम वीकेंड बताना है।
ये बताना है कि अभी तक आपने ऐसा कोई चीज है जो आपने सीखी और आपको लगा कि अच्छा ये नई चीज सीखी मैंने इस कोर्स में अभी तक, एक चीज।
मैम थोड़ा सा जो जो झिझक थी वो खुली है बोलने की, नए नए पर्सन से। मैम आपने ग्रुप बनाया, पहले तो वही पर्सन मिले, उनसे बात करने को मिला। ऐसे में थोड़ा सा इंट्रोवर्ट हूँ, नए बंदों से बोलने में थोड़ा सा होता है मैम, पर मैंने कोप अप करा, उससे बात करने की कोशिश करी, सबसे मिलने की।
ओके, गुड।
और मैम आगे का कि हम मतलब थोड़ा सा आइडिया मिला कि हमें आगे भी अननोन पर्सन से बहुत ज्यादा मिलना पड़ेगा, तो उसके लिए हमें पहले से तैयार रहना पड़ेगा।
ठीक है, बढ़िया।
हेलो मैम।
प्रिया,
हेलो
प्रिया, यस आलोक।
मैम।
आप तो बोल चुके हैं पहले।
नहीं मैम, बोला था बट मैंने क्या सीखा इस पे कल बात नहीं किया था मैंने।
ये तो मालूम है, तो आज नया सवाल पूछा है ना। अभी पूछेंगे,
हाँ
आपको भी
तो मैम।
पूछेंगे। अभी आपको भी
ओके
पूछेंगे।
मैम।
रिया, पहले उन लोगों का नाम देखती हूँ मैंने जिनको अभी तक सुनानी है, सब्जेक्ट में कुछ नहीं बोले हैं लोग अभी। रिया,
गुड आफ्टरनून मैम।
गुड आफ्टरनून।
हाँ मैम, मैंने सबसे इम्पोर्टेंटली तो ये सीखा कि हमें लॉ पे भी अपनी पकड़ बना के रखनी है। जो भूल गए हम सारा जो पढ़ा हुआ था। मैम सबसे ज्यादा डिफिकल्टी उसी में ही आई है।
ओके, ऑलराइट।
क्लाइंट से हमें कैसे डील करना, सबसे बहुत अच्छी चीज सीखी है कि सिंपैथाइज नहीं करना है। कि अगर क्लाइंट रो रहा है तो उसके साथ ही रोने लग जाओ, हमें एम्पैथाइज करना है। और क्वेश्चन मैम आपने मूवी देखने के लिए कहा था, अकेले तुम अकेले हम। तो
देख ली?
मैंने वो देखी थी वीकेंड पे। तो उसमें भी
ओके,
वो लीडिंग क्वेश्चंस करते हैं मैम, जो विटनेस होते हैं उनसे। और वो जो दूसरा लॉयर होता है वो कहता है कि वो तो झूठ बोल रहे हैं, तो मैं भी, तुम भी यही चाहते हो कि मैं भी यही बोलूं।
चलिए उस पर भी बात करेंगे जब उस दिन आएगा तो। अनीश कुमार,
गुड आफ्टरनून मैम।
गुड आफ्टरनून।
यस मैम, मैंने ये सीखा कि हाउ टू डील विद ए क्लाइंट।
हाँ, नहीं जवाब बता दो। हाँ तो सवाल है।
यस मैम।
हाँ, इसका जवाब क्या है?
इसका जवाब ये कि जैसे हम कोई आता है कोई हमसे कुछ पूछने, तो एक तो दिक्कत ये आती है कि हम उसको बता नहीं पाते ठीक से, क्योंकि लोगों को हम भूल गए जो पढ़ा था हमने, ठीक से कर नहीं पाते उसको।
नहीं नहीं, अरे आपने बोला आपने सीखा हाउ टू डील विद अ क्लाइंट, तो
यस
अब
मैम।
आपने बोला कि मैं तो ये कर नहीं पाया, तो फिर सीखा तो कुछ नहीं ना, इसका मतलब सीखा क्या?
मैम सीखा ये ना कि जो आए तो उससे कैसे बात करनी है, उससे कैसे क्वेश्चन
कैसे का जवाब दो ना, कि उसको उसको इज्जत से बात करनी है, उससे हालचाल पूछना है, ये तो जवाब है। अब देखो उसे कैसे बात करें तो सवाल है ना, जवाब
यस
दो।
मैम।
क्या सीखा, कैसे करनी चाहिए बात?
कि मैम आए तो उनको पहले ग्रीटिंग करना है।
ऐसे करके जवाब देने से तो पता चलता है कि उसमें आपने क्या सीखा। अगर
यस
सवाल ही बताओगे तो हमें पता चलेगा कि सीखा क्या उसमें। ओके,
यस मैम।
और कौन है आज? प्रशांत राज। जी,
क्लाइंट से बात करने के समय वेट करना है, उसके बाद उनसे अच्छे से बात करना है, एम्पैथाइज करना है।
जी। क्लाइंट के अलावा भी कुछ और सीखा है हमने? इस तरफ आज तक सिर्फ क्लाइंट ही सीखा है।
बोलना यहाँ पे
तो क्लाइंट का, क्योंकि क्लाइंट का सब लोगों ने सिमुलेशन की ना, तो सबके दिमाग में वो बड़ा चढ़ा के आए। जब हम इसी कहते हैं इस कोर्स में, जब आप सीखोगे करके, तो जो आपने किया वो आपको सबको याद है, जो मैंने और बताया वो सबको याद ही नहीं कर रहा है। हाँ, तो प्रशांत क्लाइंट के साथ और क्या सीखा?
उनसे बात कैसे करनी है, ये
बात क्या?
बात कैसे करनी है।
अरे कैसे करनी है, अभी तो समझाया था मैंने अनीश को कि कैसे नहीं बताना, ये बताना है कि कैसे का जवाब क्या है।
उन्हें एम्पैथाइज करना है, अच्छे से बात करना है उनसे, उनके साथ जैसे वो कर रहे हैं, तो जैसे वो रो रहे हैं तो उनके साथ रोने नहीं लगना है, उनको समझाना है। उसके बाद कैसे लीडिंग क्वेश्चन कब करना है और कब ओपन क्वेश्चन करना है, ये सब रोज क्वेश्चन करना है, कैसे फैक्ट गैदर करेंगे।
हाँ, एकता।
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Ma'am, what I learned from this mode class is what we are learning in our law, although it matters, but before dealing with the inside the court, we need to learn how to deal with our clients. Like the most important thing, if I'm not able to extract the information from my client, I would not be able to deal with my issues in court. So the basic thing that I learned is how to communicate with a client. This is the most important thing that we need to focus.
Again, Ekta, you are again saying how to communicate. Tell us how, the answer for how.
Okay, ma'am. So basically, I should not focus on extracting information. I need to be more focused on gathering the facts. That as a advocate, I will change the social fact into legal fact. So the most important thing that I learned.
Okay, great. Ashish Kumar.
Hello, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Ma'am, the same thing that everyone is saying, I have also learned the most important thing, the communication skill. Earlier, I could not, actually, I'm kind of an introvert person, so I don't usually open up with any strangers. But now I think that I know how to entertain other person. So I've also, in fact, applied this in my communication and has seen a very drastic change. Like I follow the steps. Like I begin with open-ended question and then I ask a closed and guided question. So it helps to build rapport, as you have said, not only with client but in case of my family members as well. Earlier, I could not even talk to them unless it is unless I have to gather some information or it is some real issue. But now I can talk with them like in any matters, ma'am. So it is quite important for any person like to have a communication skill, to build rapport and to be in the group. Actually, I'm even muted, like I'm kind of muted in my group, family group as well. So I think it is a good thing I've learned here. That's all, ma'am.
Arun Pratap. Arun Pratap.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, before joining your class, I had two things. Means a lawyer means lying all the time, and that perspective kind of broken. And the second things, अगर आप
And why and how it got broken?
मैम आपकी क्लास में कुछ चीजें जैसे आपने बताया कि आप अगर क्लाइंट को डील कर रहे हो तो आप उसे गलत सजेशन नहीं दे सकते। तो गलत सजेशन नहीं दे सकते कि मतलब आपको अपने क्लाइंट को भी डील करना है, उसके साथ साथ ये भी देखना है कि उसे गलत सजेशन नहीं देना है और जाने भी ना पाए, वो आपका कस्टमर एज ए कस्टमर बना रहे। और कोर्ट रूम में जो सही है पर्सपेक्टिव की, जैसे कि कुछ क्रिमिनल केसेस में जो तुम्हारा अपोजिट पार्टी है उसके स्टोरी में तुम्हें लूप होल्स देखना है। तो उस टाइप से यहाँ पर ये देखा कि हमेशा लॉयर मतलब झूठ बोला नहीं है, वहां पर लॉ में तुम्हें देखना है कि कैसे लॉ को हैंडल करना है।
ये तो हम सिखाएंगे भी आपको। और ये लॉयरिंग क्या होती है? लॉयरिंग इज सर्टेनली नॉट अबाउट लाइंग, सो दैट्स अ गुड लेसन। तो उसका एथिक्स का एस्पेक्ट है। पर ऐसे कि आर्गुमेंट्स हम कैसे क्रिएट करते हैं, हाउ डू फाइंड आर्गुमेंट्स। अभी तो हम लोग पढ़ लेते हैं कि ये पार्टी ने ये आर्गुमेंट किया, ये आर्गुमेंट किया, वो आर्गुमेंट निकालते कैसे। विल वर्क ऑन दैट। गुड। देन वी हैव अक्षय।
गुड आफ्टरनून मैम। गुड आफ्टरनून मैम। मैंने सीखा कैसे बात करते हैं, थोड़ा मैं इंट्रोवर्ट काइंड ऑफ गाय हूँ, तो मुझे नहीं पता कैसे स्टार्ट करते हैं, कैसे क्या करते हैं, थोड़ा तो सीखने को मिल रहा है। सीख रहा हूँ। कैसे शुरुआत करते हैं ओपन एंडेड क्वेश्चन से, क्लोज एंडेड पूछते हैं, ऐसा।
फिर कैसे पे ज्यादा एम्फेसिस है? जवाब पे अभी थोड़ा तो दिया है, मगर हर जना ये कहता है मैं ये सुने कैसे करना है, अरे कैसे का जवाब दो ना, कैसे करना है।
अपने क्लाइंट को कंफर्ट में लाना है, उसे लगना चाहिए हाँ वो सही
हाँ।
जगह आया है, और जाना नहीं चाहिए क्लाइंट को। और उसे भरोसा दिलाओ हाँ तुम उसकी मदद कर सकते हो।
आकाश गुप्ता।
गुड आफ्टरनून मैम। मैम मैंने ये सीखा कि मतलब क्लाइंट से डील करने में सबसे ज़रूरी चीज़ जो है लिसनिंग, के सबसे पहले उसको सुनना। हम मतलब अच्छे से यदि ना सुने, भले ही उसकी प्रॉब्लम सुन के लीगल एडवाइस देते हैं, आगे का प्लान ऑफ एक्शन भी बता दें, लेकिन मतलब मेरे साथ थोड़ा ये प्रॉब्लम थी, यदि मैं किसी से बात भी करूं तो मैं अपनी बात बोल देता था, लेकिन सुनने में उतना अच्छे से उसको सुनने की वो नहीं थी, यदि कोई सामने वाला से जब इंटरेक्ट कर रहा हूँ तो मैंने लिसनिंग क्वालिटीज़ कैसी मतलब थोड़ी डेवलप करनी चाहिए, ये चीज़ समझी।
नंदिनी। नंदिनी गोयल। Nandini, are you able to hear us? Nandini. I do not know where she is. Then who else? Manisha. Manisha.
Yes, ma'am.
जी.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon. So, have you learned anything in this course so far?
Sorry, ma'am.
Have you learned anything in this course so far?
Yes, ma'am.
What
Actually,
is
a
it?
lot of things.
Now, just tell us one.
मैम सबसे पहले तो एक दूसरे से इंटरेक्ट करना, थोड़ा सा कॉन्फिडेंस भी बूस्ट हुआ है। जो आपने ग्रुप्स बनाए थे स्पेशली उस टाइम पे थोड़ी इम्प्रूवमेंट्स आई हैं, एंड थोड़ा सा डर खत्म हुआ एक दूसरे से बात करने का। और
तो वैसा करती हूँ, सबके ना ग्रुप चेंज कर देते हो, दूसरी 4 लोगों से बात करो। तो 4 लोगों में बात करते जा रहे हो आप लोग। Well, that group of 4 has helped, then I think we should do some swapping of groups and
yes,
interact.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. और and what else?
तब आपको क्या लगता है, why were you hesitant in speaking to others? What was holding you back?
मैम बिकॉज इस क्लास में मेरा एक भी फ्रेंड नहीं था। माय होल ग्रुप हैज चेंज्ड। पूरा सेक्शन शफल हो गया था और कोई भी नहीं था इस क्लास में ऐसा मेरा फ्रेंड जिसको मैं जानती हूँ पहले से। बट फिर उसके बाद में ग्रुप्स बने तो फिर थोड़ा जो 2-4 लोग थे उनसे बात हुई तो फिर उसके बाद अब ठीक लगता है।
Okay. प्रभात सिंह राणा।
यस मैम। मैम सीखा तो बहुत कुछ ही है मैम, लेकिन जो मेन चीज थी ना, एक मैं हर किसी से बहुत ज्यादा सिंपैथाइज कर जाता था। नाउ आई हैव लर्न दैट यू हैव टू एम्पैथाइज मोर एंड सिंपैथाइज लेस। तो वो बैलेंस आ गया है थोड़ा सा बात करने से।
Now, is there somebody who I'm not identified but you have not spoken yet? Ankit Chavla?
Yes, ma'am. I'm here. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I have learned a lot, like, ma'am, to communicate, to how to speak some professional language. Like, whenever you speak, I always jot down some words which can be used in professional life, and also and also some professional things like how to treat someone, not only client but also to our friends and others too.
Again, you are stuck with how, na? Give me the answer.
No.
How is a question?
This one question is good now. What to speak about it?
So, बताएंगे how do you interact with others? What are the things to take care of while you talk to others is the basic question.
My first thing is to calm down another person and to get friendly with him. Like, he will not hesitate to speak to you, his personal things and all. And also to balance your personal and professional life. Like, whatever you are asking, you should be very much professional with him, that he will be comfortable, that you will not use it in your personal life with him, and many things like that. I'm not able to communicate all.
ठीक है, semester शुरू हुआ है. By the end of the semester, hopefully, you all will be able to communicate better. Vikas Lamba?
Yes, ma'am. हेलो.
Yes.
हाँ जी मैम, मुझे बेसिकली ये पता लगा कि ओपन एंडेड, क्लोज एंडेड और गाइडेड क्वेश्चंस में मतलब डिफरेंस, इनके बारे में पता लगा. जैसे
जिंदगी
कि
में कब से नोटिस किया आप लोगों ने कि लोग जिस तरह का सवाल पूछते हैं जवाब भी उसी तरह से आते हैं? Are you able to see it in your real life when other people are talking or when you're talking to other people?
मैम मतलब मोस्टली तो मिक्स रिस्पॉन्स है. कई बार सीधा आता है, कई बार नहीं आता. जहाँ कि ओपन एंडेड क्वेश्चन की बात है तो इसमें हम आंसर का जो स्कोप है वो रेस्ट्रिक्ट नहीं करते हैं. मतलब कुछ भी आंसर दे सकता है अगला. जैसे अपने पास कोई क्लाइंट आया तो हम पूछ भाई कैसे आना हो, तो एक तरह से ओपन एंडेड क्वेश्चन हो गया. लेकिन फिर उसने बोला कि भाई मर्डर कर दिया मैंने, तो फिर हम पूछें कि अच्छा तो बताओ मर्डर की पहली रात को आप क्या कर रहे थे. तो हमने थोड़ा इसका स्कोप आंसर का रेस्ट्रिक्ट कर दिया, तो ये क्लोज एंडेड हो गया. तो गाइडेड क्वेश्चन में तुम आंसर में यस या नो में होता है, तो थोड़ी इन्फॉर्मेशन सप्लीमेंट करके पहले उससे पूछते.
हाँ, मैं तो सोच रही थी आप लोग सब बताओगे कि गाइडेड क्वेश्चन का ये फायदा है, ये नुकसान है, ये भी हमने सीखा. ओपन एंडेड का ये फायदा है, ये नुकसान है. ये तो सब कोई बता नहीं रहा, सिर्फ सब सारे के सारे अभी फोकस है ऑन क्लाइंट इंटरव्यू एंड कम्युनिकेशन. अगर कम्युनिकेशन के जो छोटे हिस्से हैं इसमें से आप लोग बात करोगे, that no, we'll learn that pauses are important, we'll learn that intonation is important, we'll learn the speed is important, we'll learn, no, there's so many things about communication. Na? This is what I was looking for in the answers that I was expecting you to come up with. That the smallest thing, because this is all you knew, but you did not know, you did not have a conscious knowledge of it. That's all. It's not that you did not know all this, but you were not told that how it actually operates, that these are all scientific aspects to the communication. We've been doing it, all those of us who are not introverts, who are very talkative. So we do it, but we do not do it. No, we do it by hunch and by our life experience, not as a strategy. So the importance of these kinds of information that we have generated in this class is to show or to say that as a lawyer, you can strategically use different kinds of questions to elicit different kinds of response in different situations. So certainly in the client interviewing, we have learned that there are minimum 3 stages. One is the introductory stage where And the lawyer tries to establish rapport, does trust building, and set the stage for information gathering. Second stage, it is information gathering. And then there is a binding up stage where the tasks are divided as to what will happen when the next meeting, what is the next course of action. So I was expecting information to come in those terms also. So I'm quite sure that you will, we'll keep on having this refresher sessions in between, and you should be able to identify. The whole class should go around the room, and everybody should point out one thing that somebody had not spoken. So this exercise helps us listen to the others also. So all those of you who still ask the same, who still narrated, I've learned how to deal with a client. There are 3-4 of you have said that. So and I said, every time I've said, do not say how, tell me what is the answer to it. So you were not paying attention to the conversation we have earlier with another student who has used the same question format in the reporting. And I said, no, this is not the format to report. You have to give it the answer to that. So once we go around the room asking everybody to point out that something was nobody has pointed out, but we did this in the class, then that will force you to pay attention to what the others are saying. Because then you are barred to repeat something which has already been said. So therefore, keeping track of this, that's why we keep on doing this exercise, for you to learn to be attentive to listening to others. When others are speaking, we need to listen to them, and only then we will know that we are not saying the same thing all over again. So, all right. Anyone who would want to say, why is research necessary for lawyers in advocacy? What is the role research plays in an advocate's life? And I'm assuming you all know what is research.
Yes,
Does anyone know what is research?
Yes, ma'am.
What is research?
Ma'am, research is basically gathering the information related to the case.
That is search. रिसर्च में और सर्च में क्या फर्क है?
मैम रिसर्च मैम जो चीज पहले ही ढूंढी जा चुकी है उसको दोबारा रिसर्च करना रिसर्च हो गया।
नहीं तो जो साइंटिस्ट रिसर्च करते तो नई चीज निकालते हैं, पुरानी
जो मैम पहले से नेचर में रहती है उसको दोबारा ढूंढना, उसको रिसर्च कहते हैं।
तो अगर कुछ नया निकाला तो वो तो नेचर में पहले नहीं था, पहले तो एटम बम नहीं था, फिर हमने बना दिया रिसर्च करके।
तो मैम वो डिस्कवरी हो गया, वो सर्च हो गया।
ओके, तो लॉयर्स की जिंदगी में क्या जरूरत है, क्या इम्पोर्टेंस है सर्च और रिसर्च की?
मैम रिसर्च वही चीज हुआ मैम जो कि ऑलरेडी मैम जैसे जिस तरह का फैक्ट्स हुआ उसी के हिसाब से हम सारी उसके जो रेलेवेंट लॉज हैं और रेलेवेंट लीडिंग केसेस है उसको हम रिसर्च करके उसमें जो भी एप्लीकेबल होता है उसको मैम रिसर्च करते हैं, उसको फिर उस केस से अप्लाइड करते हैं, फिर आगे का जो प्रोसीजर होता है फॉलो करते हैं।
हम अगर क्यों करते हैं
मैम? ताकि हमें पता चल सके कि मैम केस कैसे मैम डील करना है उस केस को।
For Indian system में we are following the common law system.
Yes ma'am.
Which is having the principle of precedent.
Yes ma'am, precedent.
Which means that if there is a decision, so there are sources of law. No, what are the sources of law?
Ma'am, custom, precedent, and ma'am common practices.
Legislation.
Ma'am, common practices, custom and precedent.
Law नहीं आएगा?
मैम जो वो तो है ही मैम, वो तो
है ही। Common practices क्या क्या बोला आपने?
मैम custom, common practices and precedent.
Precedents. The judicial decisions of the court, those decisions are binding on us. So once we know that there is legislation is one source of law, the other source is the interpretation of that law. And because we are not because in common law country, we don't have to do the search of the judicial decisions. But in the common law countries, we certainly need to search the cases on the subject because we have the principle of precedent. So that's one very important reason that unless you know what is it that the court, whether the courts have at all given any kind of interpretation to this section or not. What has been that, whether there is a controversy, is that a Supreme Court judgment, is that I'm practicing in the High Court, then whether my High Court has got a decision. So therefore, because of all these reasons, we certainly need to do research in the judicial cases. But certainly the first point is the law as given by the legislature, or when we have the exception that sometimes we say that unless there is a custom to the contrary. So then when the custom also has the source of law. So therefore, certainly finding the law from these sources requires, we do not know, there are, I don't know how many thousands of legislations in India. So first to find out which legislation applies. If IPC doesn't apply, suppose there is a child of 17 years old who is having consensual sex with another 17-year-old child. Can they be arrested for having sex with each other?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Under which law?
Ma'am, first of POSCO law, ma'am. Ma'am,
So how do you know POCSO लगेगा?
Ma'am, because जो एक
Whether
minor,
it will be POCSO or whether it will be Juvenile Justice Act.
मैम पोस्को लॉ में ये मेंशन है कि कोई भी अगर 18 से लोअर अंडर 18 है तो उसको मैम अगर उसके साथ सेक्स कोई भी मतलब किसी भी एज ग्रुप के साथ करे तो रेप की कैटेगरी में आता है.
हाँ, तो अब इसमें जो दोनों कंसेंसुअल कैटेगरी से दे आर एंटरिंग इनटू सेक्सुअल इंटरकोर्स, व्हिच लॉ विल कंसेंट? कंसेंसुअल है, दोनों क्लास फेलोज हैं, दे आर क्रश ऑन ईच अदर, दे आर हैविंग सेक्स.
माइनर सेक्स मैम इधर वो कंसेंसुअल हो या ना कंसेंसुअल हो, मैम
तो इसमें ऑफेंडर कौन है? इसमें ऑफेंडर कौन है?
मैम ऑफेंडर तो मैम मेल.
क्यों? ये तो जेंडर न्यूट्रल लॉ है, ये तो why can't the girl be offended? These are the kind of questions. So there is also another law which says that if any offense is committed by a child, so if suppose, even if assuming that गलत है वो, if the boy is held for the rape of the girl, the class fellow, so the boy will be tried under POCSO or under the Juvenile Justice Act.
Ma'am, juvenile justice.
18-year-old, and then it's a 17-year-old, then whether he'll be tried as a child or as an adult. They're all questions. Some of the answers we might know, some of the answers we might not know. And I've done this every year. I did not know myself. We know that police takes our fingerprints. If somebody is a suspect, they take the fingerprints of the suspect person. Under which legislation the police is authorized to take fingerprints? There are 1,000 other questions of which we would not know which law. So certainly, if you're talking about the central laws, we still have got some sense of the major laws. But if we are talking about a state law, तो हम बिल्कुल पढ़ते भी नहीं LLB में, got no exposure. So there will be always occasions to find out what is the law. So how do you start doing that research? How to do research is one, but how do you even begin? कहाँ legislation को कहाँ से ढूंढेंगे? So anybody who wants to do a Google search right now, but that's what we do these days, let me know if you can find on the Google under which law the police is authorized to take our fingerprints. This is not something right away you must do, but if you want to do it, you should feel free to do that. What the starting point is that certainly lawyers need to do research. Whether lawyers need to do research only of laws, whether legislation, custom, or judicial decisions, or they need to do research on some other aspects as well. What do you think?
Provisions of Section 73 Indian Evidence Act. And
So
Section
law ही हो गया ना?
586 of
CRPC, evidence and the substantive law, तो तीनों मिलके law हमारा बनता है केस जब हम चलाते हैं तो. That is still law. I'm asking you whether lawyers need to do non-legal research.
Yes,
Suppose,
ma'am. They do.
Yes, they do.
why do they need to do non-legal research?
Ma'am, because everything cannot be codified like every prevailing customer. Everything could not be codified into laws. So, ma'am,
So
like,
then-
there might be some case which might arise for the very first time, which is not being like codified in the statutes. Well, for that very reason.
Ma'am, and another reason is when we have to do research about the facts of the cases. If any case is related to medical department or engineering department, or any case related to any other department other than law or legal criminal system, so we have to do research about that department too.
Precisely. Good. You have seen your medical negligence cases. So negligence
Yes,
law
ma'am.
fraud, you know the Consumer Protection Act, but whether the medical action was negligent or not, how will you find that out without knowing what is a surgeon supposed to do when he is operating? That's nothing to do with law, no? That's a legal procedure. That's a medical procedure. That he should wash his hands, he should wear an apron, he should have a mask, he should have all his instruments sterilized. He must not leave anything inside. Is no common sense, of course. But whether in surgery, whether the information was given to the person concerned or not, that what are the chances of whether certain tests are essential before doing a surgery. This is not prescribed by law, but this is prescribed by medicine. That if you are going to operate, you must ensure that this person doesn't have blood pressure, is not suffering from some disease, is not allergic to certain things. These are not part of law. These are part of the care a doctor is supposed to do. But how do you find out that without knowing? So this is not something which will be there in a legislation, that this is what they're supposed to do. But this might be there in the medical books. That what are you supposed to do when you are operating a certain such patient? What are the precautions to take? What are the things to check out before you open the skull? So certainly there will be any number of areas. So what we are talking about is that lawyers need to do two kinds of research, and the legal and the materials on the basis of which research is done can be classified into two kinds, what we call as legal materials and non-legal materials. I'll share with you my slides. So first of all, when you come across, how do you start doing your research? The first question you can ask is, okay, what is the area, broad area? Is it civil area, criminal law, whether it's civil also contract or which area of civil laws, which kind of criminal law area, whether it's IPC or it's a special legislation, whether the application, the legislation in question is local or national. So one can try to determine. You may have got no clue whatsoever. You may have some clue about this broad category, first of all, as a starting point. Then we will come to this also, think through the situation from various angles, that what may be the possible legal loopholes or strong points on which you need to find more information. I was recently looking at a case where where the petitioner approached the court saying that my daughter is mentally retarded. She's 38 years biologically speaking. The body age is 38 years, but her mental age, is a mental retardation person. Her mental age is between 8 to 10 years, and she had been raped. So the trial was on, and she couldn't cope up with the normal situation of the testimony in the court. So the mother applied to the court saying that the case should be transferred to the POCSO court because she is a victim whose mental age is only 8 to 10 years. And the definition says that the person should be below the age of 18 years for them to be transferred as a victim under POCSO. Therefore, the case should be heard by POCSO and not by the ordinary court. So her plea wasn't granted. She finally reached the Supreme Court. And Supreme Court was deciding this question that should, and the argument was that because she's a child and she's also suffering from a lot of anxiety, she is scared of giving, whenever she sees a male, she becomes very anxious. So her testimony should be done by the POCSO court, which is a specialized court, through video conferencing. She was invoking the provisions of POCSO. Now the court has to decide this question. What are the possible angles? The judge will be, or the lawyers, I think the judges rely on the lawyers' researches. What possible angles can be there in determining this question? What kind of research material we will require to determine that should the definition of child, which says any person who has not completed the age of 18 years, be referred to only biological age, or should it take cognizance of the mental age of the person also? What do you think? The accused counsel was arguing that if the language of the law is clear, there's no confusion, we have to give it a literal interpretation. And therefore, the trial should happen in the ordinary courts. The lawyer for the victim was arguing that the legislation has been made for the protection of children. So if anybody has the mental age of a child, therefore that child's protection is as much the responsibility of the law as it is the responsibility to protect any other child. And therefore, you should give us a purposive interpretation. So what research questions to see in this? And I'm not talking about non-legal research, I'm talking about legal research. One, I'll give you a clue. One, for example, will be that has there been any other case in which this question has arisen? That can, we've got so many sections now. It says that below such and such age, above such and such age. So kidnapping, for example, says 16, 18. So should the age be biological or should it be mental? There is also the rape consent law, which says above the age of 18, you can give consent. So if the mental age is not 18, so first you will want to find out that what are the various legislations in which age has been a criteria for imposing liability or excluding a person from liability, and try to do research on finding out whether under any other law, only POCSO, under any other law, a concession has been given keeping in view the mental age. That can be one research question. The second research question.
मैम डिस्क्रिप्शन ऑफ द कोर्ट
Yeah,
मैम किसी प्रेसिडेंट केस में अगर कोर्ट ने ऐसा डिस्क्रिप्शन दिया जो लॉ में है नहीं और कोर्ट के डिस्क्रिप्शन पे डिसीजन दिया गया हो तो उससे रिलेटेड.
That's very good, Karan Soni. The judge in this case did look at that what are the circumstances in which the courts have given purposive interpretation. What are the range of cases? There are lots of cases there, and the judgment is full of those cases. All those cases where the judge did not restrict themselves to the literal interpretation, but they went for the purposive interpretation. So thereby, the whole point is that when you start looking at So the legal question is not only what the law is on the subject, but also whether any kind of different interpretation is. So therefore, examine the problem for various angles. Consider the factual and legal dimensions. Ji.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment
Ji.
is dealing with these kind of cases where the mental age and a physical age has got a difference, ma'am. They have a data bank existing with them that's known as MOSJ, and there is an establishment in Hauskas which is having, as far as the laws are concerned, they are dealing with these kind of cases. There are Asha schools who are handling these kind of children, wherein we can find it out that.
Yeah, but we are not on that question. We are on the question that whether such a child should be dealt with by POXO Act, POXO court, or by an ordinary court. So yes, there are institutions for them, there are schemes for them, but that's not what is relevant to us. We have a legal question that whether this child can be tried, can be dealt with, whether the trial in her case should not her, it's not her trial. The accused should be tried under POXO, that he has, because if he has sex with a 38-year-old woman, then it is the ordinary 375 IPC which will apply. And if it is aggravated because she is mentally retarded, then it will be 376. But that is still IPC and the session judge. The application of the mother is that mental age is less, and therefore the case should be transferred to the POXO court. POXO court deals with cases of children where the victim of the sexual offense is below the age of 18. Therefore, whether this biologically 38-year-old woman, her case can be dealt with by the POXO. So the answer you are giving is a different answer. What we are dealing with, which court has what jurisdiction in this case?
All right.
And the question in this case was not whether she can be cared for, because the mother, the accused in this case, actually died during the proceedings. And the court still said at the end of analyzing all the decisions, etc., they said that no, we will stick to the biological age. So they did not allow transfer. In any case, it was not possible because the accused had died during the proceedings itself. But the mother then had asked for compensation for the victimization, and the court did order that as per the scheme under the legislation.
Ma'am, will we also be looking at different parameters in mental illness patients, which are used to determine the age of the patient? So, will the court also could also go into that? What are the different parameters which are needed to determine the age? So,
there are thousands of judgments on that one. How to determine age? So, but that was not the question in this particular example which I gave. There was no doubt that yes, biologically she was 38 years old. There were documents to say that she was mentally 8 to 10 years old. So the question was not on age determination, but certainly in all cases, lots of cases, certainly all cases in heinous offences under the Juvenile Justice Act, the whole question is that is he or is he not below the specified age? So that's standard, and how to whether only bone density, the bone, the test which should determine I'm forgetting the terms. So there are certain medical tests which can give us the if it is a multiple test done, then it can give us approximate 1 year plus minus. If the children are, if the person is below 20 years of age. After 25 years, there's no way to determine age. The error, margin of error is 10 years. So certainly there are all those cases there. But what we are dealing with is that when we are looking at that, how to develop, what to research. Bone as ossification test. Thank you, Eman. So bone ossification gives us a benefit, a range of 2 years plus minus. but though the bone ossification, then teeth and physical. So there are 3 tests combined done by a medical doctors, a team of medical doctors. Then the margin of error reduces to 1 year. So certainly, that's a different question, but certainly. But in this particular case, what we are saying that when you're developing a research plan, what to research for, you have to think of the possible range of aspects which will need to be answered before you can answer the big question. So the big question was that should mental age be taken out of non. So one question was that whether under any other law such a decision has been taken. Then the second one is that even if there is no such law, but there are certainly cases where discretion has been exercised, not looking at the literal interpretation of the law, but purposive interpretation. So what are those cases, in what circumstances? So you can find minimum 2 areas of research as a starting point. When you ask me what is procedural and substantive relief, who asked me that question?
Ma'am, in this case, the child
Vivek.
yeah.
Vivek, I'll just quote the case and you can look at that case.
Sure, thanks, ma'am.
Because my point in raising this example was not to talk about the substantive or not question, but the question we're using that as an example, how to develop a research plan. So in developing a research plan, this is what we have to ask, that what are the various range of questions which will need answers and for which we need to do research to find answers. Then consider the factual and legal dimensions. So when we say factual legal dimensions, so okay, yes, this person has been arrested for committing theft. And this is our client, and he's saying that no, I was actually going to my own house. Or he was saying that no, I kind of knocked at the door, nobody answered, so I had jumped over the wall to find out whether there was anybody inside or not. He had all whatever his story is of the factual justification that no, he was not committing theft in that house. He has gone in because he was very thirsty. He saw the water thing and he entered, and these people falsely accused him of theft. There are 1,000 explanations what he's saying. So that's a factual dimension of the case, that he is denying in the police say that he has been caught red-handed trying to pick up something from the garden. So now the legal dimensions. What evidence do we have? Whether there were any fingerprints, what were the item involved, whether there was anybody else with him, whether he was on the scene, depending on what will be the legal dimension of the evidence. Procedure, whether the offense can still be tried, whether it is the right jurisdiction, where they know he was arrested in Model Town, but his case is being tried in Saket Court. So you might have lots of those legal dimensions to find a jurisdiction, pecuniary, territorial, judge-wise. So all these are the legal dimensions also. So if somebody comes to you saying that I need a divorce, which court will you file the judgment? With that, if you are ready to file a divorce petition. Now, which court will you file a divorce petition?
फैमिली कोर्ट
फैमिली कोर्ट कौन से वाले?
मैम जहाँ पे वो रिसाइड कर रहे हैं या फिर जहाँ पे मैरिज हुई थी उनकी।
हाँ, तो कहाँ से पता चला?
मैम उनसे जो उन्होंने बताया होगा मैम इन्फॉर्मेशन जितना
ना,
कि
ना,
मेरी
ना,
शादी यहाँ पे।
चलो तो शादी उसकी मॉडल टाउन में
मैम सेक्शन 19 HMA डिफाइंस इट
है ना, तो हमें फिर लॉ में देखना पड़ा दूसरे लीगल डायमेंशन कि जुरिस्डिक्शन किस कोर्ट का है, where the marriage was solemnized, where the parties last resided together, or where the I forget now, defendant or petitioner. I think defendant, where the defendant resides. ऐसे 3 options हैं. So अब मॉडल टाउन का एरिया किस कोर्ट में आता है? लीगल डायमेंशन है ना. मॉडल टाउन 30,000 में आता है कि रोहिणी में आता है?
30,000।
ये पता कैसे चलता है?
30,000
पता कैसे चलता है? How do I find? So some of you would have gone there and may have learned it by seeing the cases. But if you haven't been there, then how do you know? What is the mechanism to know? मॉडल टाउन में अगर 3 डिस्ट्रिक्ट जज तो एक होगा, मगर में एडिशनल डिस्ट्रिक्ट जजेस होंगे, तो आपका किस एडिशनल डिस्ट्रिक्ट जज के पास जाएगा, वो कैसे पता चलेगा?
Madam, please
How many
repeat the
of
question.
how many of you have not seen any court proceedings? Is there anyone among you who has not seen any court proceedings till date? And it's okay to say yes, I'm not. Not expecting you to say yes. Some of you would have, but I would not expect, okay. Who else? Quickly, very good. There's a lot to learn. That is expected also. So certainly when we find, I'm a law professor. And in 1997, I came across a newspaper headline, which said that a child of 12 years of age has been arrested by police for murder of his employer, the woman employer. Employer. And the matter is, he's been arrested. His photo was there. So I teach, I'm very passionate about juvenile justice for centuries now. So I wanted to file a complaint because the law said that nobody should be, no publication can lead to identification of the child. And there were 3 newspapers, national level newspapers, who had published his photograph. So I was very incensed and I immediately wrote a petition type application and went to the Children's Court in Kingsway Camp and filed it there. And the magistrate also took it. The case went on for 2 years. After almost close to 2 years, the lawyer says, how can this court take cognizance of this case when the application should have gone to the district judge, district and session judge? That time there was only one district and session judge, and then that judge should have marked it. I did not know. The jurisdiction is a juvenile court. It's an offense under the Juvenile Justice Act, and therefore I filed the application. I did not know the procedures. It's only that after 2 years, then the court said, no, 2 years चल रहा है case, आप लोगों को object नहीं किया, so they decided. But that's what procedure is about. So there are certainly some books available, published by the society, available on their website, to tell you jurisdiction, how Delhi has been divided into 11 districts and which court has what jurisdiction under. So districts are like central, north, northwest, south, southeast, ऐसे करके districts बनी हुई हैं. And accordingly, the courts, there are, I think 7 locations पे 11 district courts हैं. So 7 locations में, when you say 11 है, तो 30,000 में जैसे एक ही है, but Karkar Doma has got 2 jurisdictions, 2 districts. So you have to familiarize yourself about that, and this is what we're talking about, the legal dimensions. That लिमिटेशन तो नहीं लागू है, कोर्ट फीस लगेगी कि नहीं लगेगी, स्टैम्प पेपर चाहिए कि नहीं चाहिए, कितने का स्टैम्प पेपर चाहिए. So these are all aspects of that. So okay, come back to this. Consider the factual and legal dimensions. The factual categories will mean what? Who are the parties involved? Who are the persons? What is involved? Whether prestige is involved, money is involved, bodily injury is involved, human relations are involved. What is it that is involved? When did the event occur? I did ask you this question when you were showing me your scenario, because then that will tell us whether you have a legal remedy available or not. You might have a legal claim, but you may not have a remedy available. So Limitation Act is available there. Where did the event occur? So cause of action, where it has arisen, will determine which is the court which has got jurisdiction. Why did or will the participants act in the way that they did? So these are all questions to consider when we're talking about the factual categories. Legal categories, what legal theory is applicable to the situation? As a legal theory, it is referring to either a theory or it is referring to a legal provision. So whether it will be res ipsa locutor, for example, whether it will be damnum sine injuria. So all those kinds of words we have been talking about, what relief might the wronged party seek through the legal system? We might be sometimes the one who is feeling wronged and approach, and sometimes we are the one who been dragged. So what is it that the claim of the other side is, and what is my claim? What is the procedural posture? Procedural means jurisdiction, limitation, court fees, stamp, all those parts are the. So whether you will find a petition, whether you find a suit, whether you find a PIL, will you find a writ petition, all these are the procedural postures when we refer to. Where will you start? So this is all, we are still at the thinking stage. We have not started working. We are still identifying what are the range of questions about which we will need to find answers to. We might have answers to some of them, but may not have answers to all the questions. So the general information, where do you start? Concerned areas of law, criminal law ka case hai. So when I ask you the question, under which law fingerprinting is permitted? So what is the concerned area of law? Hello? What is the concerned area of law?
Evidence Act.
Evidence is one possibility. What else?
Business Act.
Ma'am, identification.
Identification.
Yes, ma'am.
नहीं, अगर हम लोग ब्रॉड कैटेगरी की बात कर रहे हैं ना, तो ब्रॉड कैटेगरी में एविडेंस एक्ट तो सिविल में भी लगता है, क्रिमिनल में भी लगता है.
Yes.
इसमें कौन सा लगेगा? फिंगरप्रिंटिंग कौन सा? हाँ जी,
प्राइवेसी लॉज.
प्राइवेसी लॉज तो सिविल मैटर होता है, क्रिमिनल मैटर होता है.
Ma'am, because privacy has now been linked with Article 21, so it can be both.
यहाँ मुझे बताओ, फिंगरप्रिंटिंग क्या बैन हो गई प्राइवेसी लॉ आने के बाद में? फिंगरप्रिंट नहीं ले सकते क्या?
Until unless specific law is made of fingerprinting, like Identification of Prisoners Act, similar things, it
forensic laws, I guess.
Ma'am, criminal law.
Criminal law. So this is what we're talking about, the first criminal law. Criminal law में इन्होंने देखो कितने सारे words हमारे पास आ गए. Identification of prisoners आ गया, प्राइवेसी लॉ आ गया. सिविल लॉ में भी जहाँ पे हम कहते हैं अंगूठे लगा सकते हैं सिग्नेचर्स वगैरह में, तो वो भी तो फिंगरप्रिंटिंग है. अंगूठा लगाना इज ऑल्सो फिंगरप्रिंट. सो देयर माइट बी एनी नंबर ऑफ. आईटी लॉ में कैसे आएगा मनन? आईटी में फिंगरप्रिंटिंग कैसे आएगी?
मैम की like it might be used as an electronic evidence.
Fingerprint?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, to verify a person's identity, like information technology. There are certain mechanisms. Biometric.
नहीं, अब आजकल जैसे वो भी हो गया ना, नहीं हमारा बायोमेट्रिक में भी इस्तेमाल हो गया. That's good. You can see that whole range of things which are coming across. So then you will have to know what are the other facts, or what is the context in which we are looking at fingerprinting, permission for fingerprinting. तो अगर हम आईटी में देख रहे हैं कि वो मशीनों में लगा है जिसमें वो जो हमारे आजकल बायोमेट्रिक अटेंडेंस होती है, वो कॉन्टेक्स्ट है तो हम आईटी लॉ में देखेंगे. अगर हमारा प्रिजनर का कॉन्टेक्स्ट है तो हम वहां देखेंगे. अगर हमारा बैंक के उस पे अंगूठा लगा है चेकबुक पे तो वहां देखेंगे. सो डिपेंडिंग ऑन, so fingerprinting is all there in so many areas which is permitted. So which is the area which applies to us? So do we know anything about that subject? If not, what are the sources you can use to find out the information about the area? Anyone? अगर कुछ एरिया पता चलता है ये
books and
that's a good starting point.
Ma'am, like online sites, Manopatra, SSC online.
Ma'am, old journals.
Legal research.
Old journals.
So then we have to look for what are the possible sources of information. When we look at the journals, we look at the books. These are called as secondary legal materials. So if we have to see whether there is a possibility of a law. When the privacy की बात हम करते हैं, so whether privacy is defined under any statute or is it only a judicial judge-made law? So there's a likelihood of a statute or not. If there is, then whether is it like a state legislation or a central legislation? Are there, अगर जैसे हम कहते हैं prisons में overcrowding है, how do we determine? Is it a part of a statute? Is it a state statute? Is it a central statute? Is it a subordinate legislation? Is it coming from some other field? अब टॉयलेट कितने लोगों के ऊपर कितना टॉयलेट होना चाहिए ये लॉ में लिखा होगा कि ये कहीं हाइजीन की किताबों में लिखा होगा, मेडिसिन की किताबों में लिखा होगा कि ये हमारे सबऑर्डिनेट लेजिस्लेशन में? दीज आर ऑल द क्वेश्चंस, पर यू टू स्टार्ट थिंकिंग कि कहाँ सर्च करना, कहाँ से शुरू करें. I just started revising my book. So I'm now looking for information. So in my book, I had referred in 2016 that a case was filed. This case that I was referring to today, that a case has been filed before the Supreme Court. Mother is asking for transfer of the case to the POCSO court. So then I wanted to find out whether there has been any update. Because 2016 mein tha case hua tha. So then I started doing the research today and I found that yeah, the case has been decided and in this manner. So how did I go about looking for that? This is what we are going to do. So what are the various sources? And how did I find the name of the course was not from the Supreme Court site. I just did a Google search and somebody after their judgment referred to this case saying that in view of this judgment, I'm filing a PIL in the High Court. So research material, we classify them into, first we said legal materials and non-legal materials. Then legal materials are primary legal materials and secondary legal materials. So constitution, statutes, and judicial decisions are the primary legal materials. Secondary legal materials are books, commentaries, encyclopedia, yearbooks, journals, reports, etc. So what is the difference between the two? The two kinds material. What is the difference? When I'm referring to statute, I'm including in this one custom having the force of law. It's not a judgment statute. It's not a legislation-made statute. But if after evidence you can prove that this is the custom, then the legitimacy of that comes from the statute. Of that custom comes from the statute. So therefore, that will be included here. So what is the difference between primary legal materials and secondary legal materials?
Madam, the primary legal materials contain more value than the secondary legal materials.
Not only a value, it's a question of binding nature of the thing. Institutions, statutory provisions, judicial decisions are of a binding nature. Which are in judicial decision, not all judicial decisions. We are talking about the precedents. But certainly, vis-a-vis the party, even if it is a session judge which has given divorce, that has much binding. So the constitution, statute, and judicial decisions are binding. Books, where whatever I write in my book is not binding on anybody. You may agree with it, you may disagree with it. Commentaries, encyclopedia, these are all containing legal information, if it's a legal books we're talking about. But nobody is bound. We have read many cases now where the judge says, Mullah says so and so. That interpretation hai wo. When they agree with the interpretation, they may not agree with the interpretation. But certainly they have a persuasive value. And they are considered as secondary legal materials. Then we have the non-legal materials as well. Field data collection. So we want to say status of women is secondary in India. The statement is coming from where? It's not coming from legal materials. It's coming from the non-legal surveys. National Family Health Survey has given us this data. Education Ministry has given us this data. That women are not as much educated. That health parameters are not as good as men. Their mortality rate is higher. So all those are coming from the non-legal materials, from the field work and other sources like newspapers, other books, etc. Locating a relevant statutory provision. What are the various ways to find out? So I'm giving you here a list. Now Gazette of India is available online. Previously, it was a huge task to locate. When we say Gazette of India or the Gazette of the state, these were the official notifications of bills, statute, joint committees, select committee reports, hot legislation, acts, rules framed under the various and different parts of this one of the Gazette provided, and that is the most authentic source of the law. When you talk about Acts of Parliament, it's a yearly publication and it's published. But this is again a second, it is not published by the government. But it is, if you find out कि 1975 में कौन-कौन से पार्लियामेंट ने लॉ पास किए थे, तो आप 1975 का वॉल्यूम निकालिए और देख लीजिए, पूरी आपको लिस्ट वहाँ मिलेगी. But this is year by year. Then local laws also, there are compilations of the local laws on different states. So Delhi local laws, UP local laws, ऐसी publications publishers ने निकाल रखी हैं. And we also have a publication by ILI, General Statutory Rules and Orders. What do you understand by statutory rules and orders? Have you seen any legislation in your any other course? Towards the end, usually it says rule-making power. So the central government or the state government may make rules under this legislation. So these are the subordinate legislation and they will exemplify. Juvenile Justice Act, for example, we have the model rules, which tells us that how much clothing to be given to a child in winters and summers. What should be the nutrition diet for the children? What should be the routine? How many people should be appointed in the juvenile home? How many children can know what is the space required per cubic meter space required for every child? These are statutory rules mein likha hai. It's not part of the legislation. These are all part there. So whatever need, how much money is to be paid for the sitting. So there will be under the rule they will be paid. Then there will be another notification saying that the JJB member or the CWC member will be paid 500 rupees per sitting. So that's what the purpose of these ones are, and we need to locate them. Usually these are the rules, and these are very, very important, and most of the courses we don't read any of these rules and orders, but these are the ones which determine. Then we can also use, this is not the primary legal material, Lok Sabha debates and Rajya Sabha debates, because they are not binding on the interpretation, but these are useful in looking for interpretation, that what was the purpose, what is it that the legislature wanted to look at. Then for case law, now of course this was all in the olden times when we did not have the net, that we had these compilations called manual, reporters, digest and indexes. Nowadays most of these things are available, not the indexes are still not available, I think. Of the Indian legal periodicals and all this, but the others are. Because others we don't need in the same manner, because now we can do the e-research on this one. So I'll skip this part. But these are the, when the library open and you get the chance, you can look at these materials. You want to find out, because many a times you may not have, previously, earlier it was much more difficult compared to now, but even now you will not find everything on the net. So what was created in 1959, you may not find that law today because it has been repealed. But the publication of that year in the manual may have that legislation. So you want to find out what was happening earlier and what has been the change brought in, etc. So you might get the new law, but what was the earlier legislation, you may not find it, and therefore these will still be relevant in number of situations. Reporters were weekly, yearly, monthly, tri-monthly, etc. And digests were compilations. So one we have in the library is 50-year digest, which has got cases from 1900 to 1950. Then we have 10-year digest, then we have twin panel 5-yearly digest, specialized areas of digest, criminal law, family law, yearly Supreme Court digest, etc. And then indexes to find out what books and articles have been published. When you are aware of number of words, legal words, which are not there in our library, try and locate plaintiff in your normal dictionary. We're unlikely to find number of words which are very commonly used in law, and therefore we have specialized law dictionaries. Black's Law Dictionary is the most famous, but there are others also. There's another volume called Words and Phrases. So students keep asking, Madam, reciprocal locutor kya hota hai? You know, whatever these phrases are. If you look at all these maxims, etc., in words and phrases, you might find meanings there. Reports of various expert bodies, Law Commission, NHRC, Women Commission, Scheduled Caste, Minority Commission. There are lots of commissions there. Well, survey is a very good source to find out whatever has been the latest development in law. If you just want to abreast yourself about what had happened in the last year, then this annual survey comes from the Indian Law Institute. Journals, specialized journals as well as journals are there. Encyclopedia, yearbooks, Humanities Index, Social Science Index, monographs, there are lots of these things. So we know that the first thing nowadays we do is Google. It's a good starting point, but one has to be very careful in doing internet research, because internet research has do one search. Anyone, I think we should do a search. Any subject you suggest, and you all will do a net search right now. You can do a net search, and let's say search on when was Jammu and Kashmir created into Union Territories? Tell me. So I need to know the date on which Union Territories of Jammu and Kashmir were created, came into existence.
31st October 2019.
ये तो आपको पता है कि आपने सर्च करके बताया?
After searching, मैम.
सर्च में सबसे पहले सर्च क्या है रिजल्ट में, कहाँ क्या सोर्स है?
विकीपीडिया. विकीपीडिया.
हाँ, विकीपीडिया आया ना, उसमें मैंने भी की थी आज सुबह सर्च, मुझे पता है विकीपीडिया सबसे पहले आता है. सो विकीपीडिया के बेसिस पे आप कह सकते हो ऑथेंटिक है?
No, मैम.
That's a good starting point. इस वाले केस में करेक्ट भी है, but Wikipedia, because anybody can put in information, they might put 90% correct information, 10% can be incorrect also. So they keep on trying to authenticate, but one does not know what is the source of information. Who am I who is putting that information there? Wikipedia is not to be relied in the court, is not to be relied in research, in any legal writing. You can do that for your own learning, but you cannot use that as the authentic source. So how do you find out which is the authentic source and which is not the authentic source? How do you find that out?
We will have to look at the credibility of the organization or where it is coming from.
Yeah, but how do you determine that credibility? What are the indicators that this is credible, this is not credible?
The sources which are being relied by the judges in past decisions.
Like?
Ma'am, like that press, like constitution.
No, because judgment में काजू साहब ने विकिपीडिया को कोट किया, उनको बहुत जिल्लत सहनी पड़ी उस बात को लेके. So you have to find out whether the site is maintained by an authority which is known. So suppose that Delhi University website. Now, can you and me post on the Delhi University website any information? is a whole structure in the university which is exclusively responsible for putting up information on the Delhi University website. So any information on the Delhi University website has to be reliable because it is all uploaded by authorized persons only. You and me cannot put on information even though we part of the university, but we are not in that team. So when you look at United Nations website, we are not, again the information is given there by authorized persons. So when there is an organization, known organization, there is a government site, these are maintained by professionals, institutions, academics, universities, international investment commissions, NGOs. So all those sites are reliable sites. You can use that information. That Ministry of Women and Child Development has put this information there and have taken it from there. The Law Commission report available on the Law Commission website is cited. When you look at the website endings, that also gives you a hint. We do know that different sites use different ending. What is the Delhi University website ending?
nic.in.
UACIN, है ना? So AC is academic, IN is India. So Delhi University Academic Institution. So that is the site which most of the universities, ACIN की sites, जितने भी universities हैं, they will end up with acn.in. So we know that looking at this site, that this is a university site. What is the Government of India site ending?
.go.in.
gov.in. So ordinarily, .com are commercial. That's why the com is there. So usually commercial sites are not authentic information, usually for our purposes. But if it is net, it is .org, if it is ACIN, these are the comparatively nic.in bhi hai. So when you look at the ending of the site, usually in registering, people try to club themselves, have the domain name, which will reflect what kind of site it is, to whom does it belong to. So certainly, when it is a .com site, be very careful. Wikipedia kya hai? .com. There might be other also. There is another one which is as quotation.com. And I saw an article by the Supreme Court judge which had a quotation from Aristotle. Source of the information was given as quotation.com. I sent it back saying, no, we cannot rely on this. We do not know whether the quotation.com is giving correct or incorrect. It may be correct. I do not know. I'm not saying that it's incorrect necessarily. But I have no means to confirm that this is the correct information, and I'm not going to do the research to find out from an authentic site whether Aristotle said that or not. It's the job of the researcher. So certainly, when you are quoting information, you might get a normal sense from any site, but then try and double check that from authentic sites. So when I today looked at when I was doing research for what happened in that case in the Supreme Court on the age question, so first I located this advocate who has put this question out saying that anybody can help me out with their legislation. International has sent a call for finding out whether there are any decisions in their jurisdiction on the subject. But I did not know who this lawyer was, what is authenticity, what is etc. So then I picked up that name and then went to the Supreme Court site, and I found yes, the name was correctly given, and I could find the case itself also. Now I can say that yes, this is the case, and he had already written about that on his website. But because I did not know the veracity of the lawyer himself, he's claiming to be a lawyer, but I do not know whether he's not or not, is a lawyer or not. So therefore, I needed to double check this with the authentic site to find out whether this case actually existed. Certainly, you can start from Google, and we say Google and Kalash सब बताते हैं, तो WhatsApp भी बताते हैं, but WhatsApp has got a lot more false information compared to Google. Certainly, you can get information from any source, but do not rely on that till you have confirmed the reliability of that information. So e-databases, lots of them are there. Has any one of you used any of these? I think what I'm going to do is introduce you to this. I'll stop. Come back to this later. Now I want you to. So, how many of you have tried to access the Delhi University data source database? Has anyone among you accessed the data source during COVID time or earlier? No?
Yes, madam. I accessed the Delhi University Library System e-database.
Okay. So how did you go about it? What do you need to do to get access?
First, we need a login ID and password. Then there was a detailed structure how to log in, and there were different databases related to physics, chemistry, and the most applicable to us was the JSTOR. So I accessed the JSTOR to that Delhi University library system.
Okay. So let me put you out this couple of information there. So first, all those of you, now I'm not, I was talking today to the librarian, and he told me that the e-library resources are available to all students, all the LLB students included. What you need to do is go to their website and first register yourself. Previously, it was certain that you needed to have the official email ID. Now we know that that's not the case for most of you, and therefore what they're now asking is that you need to fill up a form, and I'm trying to locate whether I still have that page open for the form. Let me share this. So, okay, if you go to the university website, you have this library tab. And if you go to library system, this is what opens up. You can go to the individual libraries, and we can go to the law library here. So this law library, there is a separate website for law library. Click on this one. And this is a page you can access a lot of information even here, even without logging in at all. There are online databases and there are the offline databases. Open access e-resources. Even if you go there, you can find number of things there which you can, these are the subject gateway repositories. And you can use either this, or we can go back and look at Journal of Indian Law Institute, for example. If you want to look at the journal, annual survey, patent trademark policy, these are offline databases. Let's see what happens here. So this is the offline, so this we don't have access as yet here. Then we have library services about library timing, contact us, encyclopedia, recent editions, print resources, what is available in the library. So they are law e-journals, A to Z list. You want to find out about Air Force Law Review. Click here. There are lots of judgment, a lot of journals here which have been subscribed by the library, and this you can access even without logging in. But if you want to log in, you need to go to the login page. Okay, this is after I've logged in. I'll give you in a minute the email also. Here is the link. I'll copy this link. To click on this link, you come to this registration page. You can fill up these details for yourself. And what they are now asking for is that you must scan your valid identity card, and then login name and login ID and password will be sent to you. So, okay, so from this page, you can go to the login page. Once you have received that login, then using that login, you can get into the system. This is the first page which opens up for me now. You can see this page now. You can see this page?
No,
You
ma'am.
can't see this? You can't see this page?
No.
I need to change the presentation. This you can see now. This is the login page. This is the registration page. Yeah, so this is the registration page. And I'll show you that after registered and you have received the email ID, then we can go to the, it won't only pick up one page at a time, it seems. Yeah, so this is once you log in, this is where you go. You can see this now?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So in this one, then you can do your searches. And what I did was, I said, okay, let's check out open access, the ebook databases. So resources list, you have resource list of other databases, it is a resource list. So I did go here. I think I did go in there. Okay, let's see what comes. Yeah, Gestor was what he was mentioning. So let's click on Gestor. Now it's saying search journals, primary sources, and books on JSTOR. What do we want to search? Let's say we want to search law. Title. It's going to give us 120,000 results. So any title which has got law in its title, this is coming here. So I don't want to look at this. This is 108,623 results. So it's there. Sort by relevance. Newest, oldest. You can again decide that. I said, okay, I want to do it by relevant, by newest. So you can pick up your choice here. Search within results. So I want to find out within results restorative justice. Now we have got 296 results. So then I want to narrow it within these results also. I want to say restorative justice for children. Now looking at the title, doesn't seem like that I've got the right thing. This is justice, law, but it is not talking about children. So within restorative justice, I want to go for children. Seeking social justice to notice a lot of reform, challenge in future, prison addiction, rethinking rape law reform. So there are lots of something there in the within the restorative justice system that one is talking about. So this is only one example. What is important for us when we do research? What is important for us is to understand that using your phrases is very important. How do you do the search? If I want to find out a search term, or a search term of phrases have got a key role in determining what kind of results will come out. So if suppose I say ask you to do a research on law relating to children, what are the various laws relating to children or children committing offences? So we already know that there's a Juvenile Justice Act which applies to them. So apart from that legislation, are there any other laws? So how many ways I can find out the answer? What are the various words, alternative words for children that I can use so what are the alternative, how many words can you use? Think of alternative terms for each of the search words you list. This is one here. This is another aspect of it, that when you are doing a database search, when you do a Google search, you do not have all these options. But when you do a particular database search, then you can use tips like that I want children, but not juvenile. So the search will look at, suppose I'm looking at the judicial decisions and I want laws and the legislation which are talking about children, but not juveniles. I do not want the juvenile term to appear in their judgment. So I'll have to use the term children, but not juvenile, or juvenile, but not children, or juvenile delinquency, juvenile near delinquency. So within near maybe 5 words, 2 words, 3 words, or it may be a phrase. If I want to look at judgments which are using the word juvenile delinquency, and I want them to appear as single phrase, then I can put inverted commas. We also have something called wildcard. Wildcard is that suppose for your own search in your own collections of information, it may happen that you want to locate a particular file. और आपको याद है कि आपने PDF सेव किया था उसका, you can use the star.pdf. तो जितनी आपके सिस्टम में PDF फाइल होंगी वो वहाँ सारी आ जाएंगी. Instead of having JPG, PDF, movies, you will have all variety songs. सारे फाइल्स आपकी सब आपके एक फोल्डर में है, पर आपको याद है कि नहीं वो PDF फाइल थी. You are narrowing it down by using a wildcard. So I want to use woman and women, WOMAN and WOMEN. So I did that research at one time. So I wrote WOM and then put an asterisk. So anything which was ending with that, so suppose I want to do a search for child and children. So I can write the word child and put the star asterisk at the end. So it will pick up all the information, all the articles or whatever the database I'm searching. So it will put all the information, all those documents which have got the word either child or children into my search results by using the wildcard. But when I did it for WOM, it gave me womb also. I didn't think of that word, so I was thinking women, and for WOM I wrote and saying that the AN and EN both will be there, but then it picked up the other words also which had WOM as common. It may sometimes lead to very funny results as well, but certainly. So tell me, what do you think are the various words you can use as alternative to child?
Minor.
Minor, good. Parayavachi.
Ma'am, juvenile.
Juvenile.
Ma'am, underage.
Underage. बहुत सारे वर्ड्स हैं, बहुत सारे.
Kids.
Kid.
Teenager.
Teenager.
Infant.
Infant.
Girl child.
Girl, boys.
Ma'am, toddler.
Toddler. Infant. Baby.
Youngster.
Adolescent. Adolescent.
Adolescent. बहुत सारे वर्ड्स हैं ना. So depending on कि अगर आपको लगता है आपने एक वर्ड इस्तेमाल किया, आपको relevant information मिली, मगर आपको कुछ और भी चाहिए, you can try and see what different information will come by use of different words, but some of the information may still be common. So certainly once we are doing a research, we do a, अभी आज का कहते हैं violence against women पे search करनी है हमने. Violence against women में क्या search करना है? Domestic violence करना है, sexual violence करना है, sexual harassment करना है, economic violence करना है, emotional violence करना है, 1000 kinds of violence. We said domestic violence against women, so we'll have crores में result आ जाएगा. So then you need to decide what aspects. You can always do the narrow down of the search as well. The more you do searches, better results it gets you. I don't think I'm going to give you the task today, or should I? No, I leave it on your dashboard. This PPT. Just check. But I think this one has the research task, or you can pick up any. Now, what I'll suggest, you pick up any area. No, you have all done now client interviewing at an informal level. And you all said that you were weak on the law. So find out the legal provisions applicable in the matter which you dealt in your informal client interviewing. So you'll find the answer, and also what you will report to me tomorrow will be what was the process for finding that out. You know, these days तो हमारे सिर्फ इंटरनेट ही रहेगा, because लाइब्रेरी में होता तो हम आपको देखिए लाइब्रेरी में जाओ और हमें ढूंढ के लाके दिखा दो. So then tell us कि आपने ढूंढा कैसे. But we're still going to ask you that even on the internet, what process did you take? What kind of phrase words did you use? How did you ensure that it is authentic? So that kind of information. So is that a good homework for tomorrow?
Yes, ma'am.
Rachita is speaking for the whole class. So Rachita said yes. Rachita to ensure that everybody does this job. So spend some time today trying to find answers on the internet, whether case law, legal provision, any article on the subject matter, which you think is relevant for the case, for the client that you talk to in your informal conversations. Okay? आज अटेंडेंस बहुत कम है, क्या बात है? We're saying we are stopping at this today. We'll have one more class on this aspect before we move on to strategy planning and case strategy, case planning. All right. We'll have any more conversations only tomorrow. Is that okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah, so read something on research and